Before you sign anything at a GMC dealer, you need to see these 5 upgrades. 1 replaces a $1,500 dealer option for $80. 1 kills a recurring service they charge $600 for, permanently. And 1 reveals that every accessory they're adding to your loan is available online for 40% less. 5 upgrades the dealer prays you never find. Number 5. An aftermarket LED headlight conversion on your Sierra, Yukon, or Canyon. The factory LED headlight package is one of the highest margin accessory items on any GMC truck. On a Sierra, it's $1,000 to $1,800 as a dealer-installed option. Or it's only included on the Denali and AT4 trims that cost $5,000 to $10,000 more than the SLE or SLT you were looking at. The dealer's pitch: better visibility, modern look, safer night driving. All true. LEDs are genuinely better than the factory halogens. The question isn't whether you need them, it's whether you need to pay $1,500 for them. Aftermarket LED bulbs, direct plug-and-play replacements for your factory halogen H11 and 9005, run $30 to $60 per pair. Brands like Farron, Nylite, and Auxbeam. Same socket, same wiring. Pull the halogen out, push the LED in. 10 minutes per side. No wiring modifications, no housing changes. Here's the thing. These aren't the junk LEDs from 10 years ago that scattered light everywhere. Modern aftermarket LEDs use chip designs that mimic the halogen filament position, meaning the beam pattern from your factory reflector housing stays correct. Oncoming traffic doesn't get blinded. Your light output doubles or triples within the same beam shape. For owners who want the full transformation, aftermarket LED projector housings from Morimoto or Alpha Rex replace the entire headlight assembly with optics designed from scratch for LED. $150 to $400 per pair on most applications. The result matches or exceeds the factory LED package that costs 3 to 4 times as much. Here's the mistake most owners make. They buy the cheapest LED bulbs on Amazon, $15 for a pair, and get blinding glare, flickering, and a check engine light from the CAN bus system, not recognizing the lower power draw. Spend $40 to $60 on a quality pair with a built-in CAN bus decoder and a proper chip layout. The difference between a $30 LED and a $15 LED is the difference between an upgrade and a headache. This is not the place to save $20. Why the dealer doesn't want you knowing that $1,500 LED option is one of their highest margin accessory upsells. An $80 aftermarket set delivers 90% of the same visibility improvement. The remaining 10% doesn't cost $1,400. Banned because dealers claim aftermarket LEDs aren't DOT approved, could damage the electrical system, and void the headlight warranty. Reality: the electrical draw on LED bulbs is lower than halogen. Most quality aftermarket units meet DOT beam pattern standards, and under Magnuson-Moss, the dealer must prove the LED caused a specific electrical failure before denying any claim. $80 for what the dealer charges $1,500. Same light, same visibility, different receipt. But this next upgrade doesn't just save money on a single purchase, it exposes one of the most profitable upsells in the entire delivery process. Number 4. A spray-in bed liner you apply yourself instead of the dealer's Line X or Rhino liner. The finance manager's second favorite add-on, right after window tint. You're sitting at the desk, you're already signing, and they slide in the bed liner at $450 to $750. Sounds reasonable. Protects the bed. Professional application. Done before you drive off the lot. Here's what they don't tell you. The active ingredient in Line X and Rhino liner, polyurea, is the same active ingredient in the kits you can buy at any auto parts store. U-POL Raptor liner. $150 to $250 for a full kit with hardener, application gun, and enough material for a full truck bed. Rust-Oleum Turbo Coat. $75 to $100 for a roller-applied kit that covers a full bed in an afternoon. Same chemistry, same UV resistance, same impact protection, same adhesion to properly prepared metal. The difference? You're applying it instead of a technician with an air compressor. The preparation matters more than the application method. Clean the bed, scuff the surface, degrease, mask the edges. The liner bonds to clean metal, regardless of who sprays it. Stay with me here. There's a detail about the factory plastic drop-in liner that dealers push on lower trims. That plastic bed liner sits on top of the metal bed with airspace underneath. Moisture gets trapped between the liner and the bed floor. Road salt, rain, condensation, it all pools under that plastic and sits against bare metal for months. Pull a plastic drop-in liner off a 5-year-old truck and you'll find rust underneath that wouldn't exist if the bed had been sprayed. A spray-in liner, dealer or the one you do yourself, bonds directly to the metal and seals it. No air gap, no trapped moisture, no hidden rust. The dealer sells the plastic liner because it's a 5-minute install at delivery. The spray-in is better in every way. Why the dealer doesn't want you knowing? Bed liner installation is the number 2 accessory profit center after window tint. The margin on a $500 install is $200 to $350 after material and labor cost. You doing it yourself for $150 eliminates that margin entirely. Same chemistry, same protection, $500 less. The dealer doesn't want you Googling the active ingredient. Drop a comment. Which of these 5 are you doing first? Subscribe for more every week. Let's keep going. One more thing on application. If you go the Raptor route, here's what separates a professional-looking result from a rough one. Apply in a garage or shaded area, not in direct sunlight. Temperature between 60 and 80 degrees. 2 thin coats are better than 1 thick coat. Thick coats trap solvents and create soft spots that peel under impact. Scuff the bed with 80 grit sandpaper, wipe with acetone, and let it dry completely before the first coat. The prep takes longer than the application, but the prep is what makes it stick for 10 years. Now, number 3 isn't just a purchase the dealer doesn't want you making. It's an upgrade that kills a recurring service they charge for permanently. Number 3, an oil catch can that replaces a $600 dealer service forever. On GM V8s with direct injection, the 62L86 on K2XX, and certain Gen 5.53 variants, carbon builds up on the back of the intake valves because no fuel touches them. Crankcase vapor from the PCV system carries oil mist that bakes onto the valve faces at combustion temperature. Over 50 to 80,000 miles, those deposits restrict airflow, cause rough idle, and steal power. The dealer's solution: walnut blasting. Remove the intake manifold, blast crushed walnut shells at the valve faces under compressed air, reassemble. $300 to $600. And it needs to be done again every 60 to 80,000 miles because the problem never stops. As long as crankcase vapor reaches the intake, carbon keeps building. A catch can from Mishimoto, UPR, or billet technology, $150 to $300 one-time purchase, intercepts that oil vapor before it reaches the intake. The vapor enters the can, condenses against internal baffles, and the oil drains into a reservoir you empty every 5,000 miles. Clean air continues to the intake. The valves stay clean. Here's the math the dealer hopes you never run. Over 200,000 miles, 3 walnut blasting services at $300 to $600 each equals $900 to $1,800. One catch can at $150 to $300 equals $150 to $300. One time, done. Here's how to know if your engine needs one. Pull the oil fill cap while the engine is idling. If you see a light haze of vapor rising from the opening, that's crankcase blow-by, the same vapor that's currently coating your intake valves. On high-mileage engines with worn rings, the blow-by is heavier. The catch can catch more. The need is greater. But even on a low-mileage engine, the vapor exists from day one. The carbon buildup starts from the first mile. Installing a catch can on a new truck prevents the problem before it begins. Installing one at 80,000 miles stops it from getting worse. Why the dealer doesn't want you knowing that walnut blasting service is recurring revenue. Every 60 to 80,000 miles, the customer comes back, pays $300 to $600, and the problem returns on schedule. A catch can break that cycle permanently. $150 kills a revenue stream the dealer depends on. Banned because it modifies the factory PCV system. Dealers cite it during warranty inspections. Mechanics remove it in 5 minutes before dealer visits, 2 hose clamps, 2 bolts, and reinstall after. The dealer sees a stock engine bay. The catch can goes back on in the parking lot. $150 once, or $600 every 60,000 miles forever. The dealer prefers forever. Number 2. Bilstein 5100 adjustable shocks instead of the dealer leveling kit. Most Sierra and Silverado owners want one thing: the front leveled to match the rear. That raked factory stance gone, truck sitting even. It's the #1 visual modification request at every dealer. The dealer's solution: a spacer kit. An aluminum or polyurethane puck that sits on top of the factory strut or spring. Raises the front 2 inches. The shock stays stock. The ride quality stays stock. And the dealer charges $500 to $1,200 installed for a part that costs $30 to $50 wholesale. Bilstein 5100s are adjustable height front shocks with built-in ride height settings. Stock height to 2.5 inches of lift. You choose the position during installation by selecting which snap ring groove the lower mount sits in. The shock is the leveling system. No spacer needed, no factory shock reused. Here's why this matters beyond the level. The factory Rancho or Delco shocks on most Sierras are adequate, designed for the lowest acceptable cost. Bilstein 5100s are monotube, gas pressurized, and valved for trucks. Highway ride improves, body roll under cornering decreases. Towing stability improves because the shock actually controls the suspension instead of allowing it. You're not just leveling the truck, you're upgrading the entire front suspension simultaneously. Cost: $130 to $165 per shock. Front pair: $260 to $330. Independent shop installation: $150 to $250 labor. Total: $410 to $580. The dealer charges $500 to $1,200 for a spacer that lifts the front and changes nothing about ride quality. Bilsteins level the front and make it ride better for less money. I'm not done yet. One detail most people miss. After any leveling, spacer or Bilstein, you need an alignment. $60 to $100 at any shop. The dealer includes alignment in their leveling kit price, which is part of how they justify the markup. An independent shop charges $60 to $100 on top of the Bilstein install. Even with alignment, the Bilstein total, $470 to $680, is still less than most dealer spacer kits. And you have better shocks. The dealer's standard line when they see aftermarket shocks: warranty void on suspension, steering, and wheel bearing claims. Under Magnuson-Moss, a shock absorber cannot cause a wheel bearing to fail. A shock absorber cannot cause a tie rod to wear. The dealer must prove the specific modification caused the specific failure. A Bilstein shock that improves damping cannot be logically argued to cause suspension component failures. The dealer sells a spacer that levels your truck. Bilsteins level your truck and make it ride better, for less money. That's why they don't bring it up. And while you're at it, don't forget the rears. Bilstein 5100s are available for the rear as well. Same monotube construction, same improved valving. $120 to $150 per shock. The rear pair transforms towing stability and loaded ride quality in a way the factory shocks never could. Most owners do the fronts for the level and forget the rears. Do all four. The truck rides like a completely different vehicle. Total for all 4 Bilsteins plus alignment plus labor, $700 to $1,000. The dealer charges that for a spacer kit on the front alone. And number 1, the single biggest money-saving revelation on this entire list. and the one that changes how you buy every accessory for the life of the truck. Number 1. Buying GM accessories online at 30 to 40% below dealer price. This is not an aftermarket swap. This is not a third-party alternative. These are the exact same GM branded, GM warranted, GM part-numbered accessories that the dealer sells. Running boards, tonneau covers, floor mats, tow mirrors, cargo accessories, available from authorized GM parts websites at MSRP or below. And your dealer is marking them up 30 to 50% when they add them at delivery. Here's how the game works. You're at the finance desk, you've agreed on the truck price. The finance manager starts the accessories pitch, WeatherTech floor mats, $280 to $350 at the dealer. The same mats online from WeatherTech directly, $180 to $220. Factory GM running boards, $1,200 to $1,800 dealer installed. The same running boards from GM Parts Direct or GM Parts Online, $500 to $800 plus $200 at an independent shop for installation. Total, $700 to $1,000. Factory GM hard tonneau cover, $800 to $1,200 at the dealer. Same cover online, $450 to $650. Most are bolt-on with zero tools beyond a socket wrench. Now here's the detail that makes this number 1. When the dealer adds accessories to the deal, they get folded into your loan. You're not paying $280 for floor mats. You're paying $280 plus 6 to 8% interest over 72 months. That $280 mat actually costs $340 by the time you've paid it off. The markup is financed. You're paying interest on the dealer's profit margin. And here's the part nobody calculates. $3,000 in accessories at 7% over 72 months adds $700 in interest alone. You're paying $3,700 for $3,000 in parts that are available online for $1,800. The real cost isn't 30% more, it's double. The fix: buy the truck. Only the truck. Sign for the truck and nothing else. Drive it home. Then order every accessory you want from GM's own online parts network, WeatherTech Direct, or any authorized retailer. Install yourself or at an independent shop. Save 30 to 50% on every item. Pay cash. No interest on markup. Over a single truck purchase, running boards, tonneau cover, floor mats, mud flaps, bed liner, tow accessories. The savings range from $500 to $3,000, depending on how many accessories you'd have added at the dealer. Every accessory the dealer adds at delivery is available online for 30 to 40% less. The finance manager hopes you never open a browser before you sign. Here's the trick to finding the exact part number for any GM accessory. Go to the GM Accessories website, accessories.gmc.com. Enter your truck's year, model, and trim. Every factory accessory available for your specific vehicle appears with the GM part number, MSRP, and installation instructions. Copy that part number, paste it into Google. You'll find it on GM Parts Direct, GM Parts Online, and multiple authorized retailers, often at 10 to 20% below MSRP with free shipping. The dealer's markup disappears the moment you have the part number. 5 upgrades, 5 revenue streams your dealer depends on, and now you know how every one of them works. An $80 LED conversion that replaces a $1,500 option, a $150 bed liner that does the same job as a $700 dealer install, a catch can that permanently eliminates a $600 recurring service, Bilsteins that level and upgrade for less than a dealer spacer kit, and the knowledge that every accessory on the finance sheet is available for 30 to 40% less online. Total potential savings across all 5, $3,000 to $7,000 over the life of the truck. That's not a rounding error, that's a payment. If you want the mods that GM's warranty department bans and the federal law that protects you, watch 5 banned GMC modifications that actually work. And for the cheap engine protection methods nobody talks about, watch 5 cheap GMC engine fixes everyone ignores gold mines. 5 upgrades, all available right now, all cheaper than what your dealer is charging. The only thing between you and the savings is a search bar. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.